Let's be honest, we have all tried to build routines that maybe last a few days or a week, and we end up feeling discouraged. The truth is, creating a daily routine that actually sticks does take a little bit of work, some strategy, and most importantly, discipline, but it is worth it. It will give you more freedom in your life, give you better well being and overall stability so that you can accomplish what you want and live the life that you want. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Ofori-Attah. Welcome to my channel. I am talking about discipline and so many different aspects of discipline, how it impacts your daily life. And today is all about routines. Yes, we've heard about routines, morning routines, night routines, all that good stuff. It's trending for a reason because it actually makes a difference in your day-to-day life. This is something I've had to learn over my 10 years of being an entrepreneur, over my 17 years of dealing with chronic pain. The layers and levels of discipline and routines have been a big part of my life, and I want to share why they work for me and how they work for me so that they actually will work for you as well. Because it is very easy to feel overwhelmed with having a routine, to have the right routine, to make the most of your day, the most of your morning, or the most of your evening. Especially with so many different things pulling us in a million different directions these days, a routine feels like a great idea, but then also one more thing that we need to work on and accomplish. And oftentimes we just feel discouraged when it doesn't work out. And you're not alone in that feeling. I have been there. And the greatest thing about a routine is there is flexibility, even though there's discipline, there is flexibility in creating routines that work for you in different seasons of your life. Before we get into creating the routine, I really want to share about the importance of a routine and why it is so valuable to have, especially during different seasons of your life, whether you're busy or maybe you're feeling like you're in a rut, you're not feeling as motivated. Routines can actually be the secret to getting out of those ruts, getting your motivation back, and most importantly, flexing that discipline muscle that we are all working on. It's no secret that routines provide structure. They also provide consistency and stability. If you're like me, maybe you didn't have a lot of stability growing up and things were always uneasy and you got accustomed to that. So having a routine that gives you stability doesn't necessarily feel natural, but it actually will help you in building the life that you want, giving your body a place to find some ease and less stress, which is something I am all about, because the stability of a routine allows your body to get into a flow, which creates more room for creativity, inspiration, excitement, and overall joy, which leads to well-being. And I know we're all here for that reason. One of the common misbeliefs about a routine is rigidity and so much structure that you don't get to enjoy life or you don't get to have fun. And that is not the case. A routine is really just about giving you that framework to set yourself up for success. So whether that's just your morning routine or just an evening routine or your workday routine, these things that we put into place that give us these guidelines and structure set you up for success, but they don't take away from living and just being a human. The reality is there's a lot of free flow in life and you need to be able to go with the flow. Even if you're A-type like me, it can be hard, but you want to have routines that allow you to go with the flow and to get to a place that you feel more comfortable going with the flow rather than feeling more stressed about having no stability and kind of being all over the place. At the end of the day, the goal of having a routine is setting you up with intentional habits that align with your values, your goals, and allow you to build that life that you want to live, that you know you are right there, you're so close to getting, and this is honestly one of the very first steps to arriving at that life. When it comes to routines, let's start in the morning with your morning routine. I know I've talked about this in previous videos. If you haven't caught my previous videos about discipline, you can go back and watch those. I've also talked about this in my vlog, but my morning routine and how I start my day is probably the most important thing for me because it sets the tone for my entire day. If I wake up stressed or feeling lazy or feeling lethargic, guess what energy I'm going to have all day long is stress and lethargic and overwhelm and just not feeling like I'm accomplishing anything. So having a morning routine is a part of setting up my day for success. And it really allows me to show up the way that I want to be from the top of my day so that as the day continues, that's the energy I continue to lead with. So, for everyone, your morning routine is going to look different. But for me, I like to break it down into three different aspects. I like to do something for my mental well being, my physical well being, and my emotional well being. So, maybe for you, the physical is the biggest importance. You want to get up, you want to go to the gym, or you want to go out for a run. Whatever it may be, you want to break down your morning routine into at least 2 or 3 pillars of things that are your non negotiables. One might just be not hitting snooze. That's just not how you're going to start your day. Go back to my previous video and you're going to learn about how to not hit snooze and get up right away. But maybe for you, it's actually about movement, and it's not about high intensity movement. It's just a walk, which for me is often what I do in the morning is I try to go for a 40-minute walk just to get my body moving because I'm going to be sitting all day long. So I like to get up, get outside, move my body, remind myself I have a body that moves. And that's something I do for my physical well-being. Another thing I do for my physical well-being is eat a good breakfast and have water. 2 very important things, especially when I head into a busy day. I need to fuel myself up to start the day. So look at how you're fueling yourself. What gives you energy? Is it that physical movement? Is it actually slow movement? Maybe it's something like meditation. Maybe you do a 10-minute guided meditation, or you start with a 5-minute guided meditation because you haven't gotten there yet. Whatever it may be, you want to break these things down into things that actually fuel you, that you have used before, that you remember being a part of, maybe a routine you tried that did benefit you and did give you that sort of excitement and reassurance as you headed into the day. When it comes to your morning routine, finding those 2 or 3 pillars or elements that really support you in starting your day is what you need to do in order to have a little discipline. Sometimes you're not going to want to do them, but I promise they always help. And being able to rely on these things start to become a part of your self-care toolbox, things that you can revisit when you are not feeling your best. The days that you don't want to do it are the days usually you need to do it the most. So whether it's that meditation, the movement, I do a little bit of journaling, gratitude journaling specifically, some devotionals, different things that really fuel you. So it could also just be reading a book that gets you out of your headspace of work, all the things you have to do. Ideally, you're fueling yourself and filling your cup up for at least 20 minutes before your day begins. Because the reality is, once your day begins, a lot of times you have no time for yourself and you start pouring into other people, whether it's your family, your job, your career, going different places, seeing friends. It can often feel very overwhelming and like you never did anything for yourself. So starting your day with caring for yourself is one of the best things you can do, and also one of the best ways to make sure that you are consistent with taking care of yourself. It's easy to go into seasons where you're caring for yourself more or caring for yourself less. But when you have this routine, you can rely on taking care of yourself and again, allow your nervous system to relax a little bit because there's that stability and that peace that allows you to know how your day starts, get your energy collected, and head into the busier part of your day feeling your best. It should definitely be simple and it should not be something that you are trying to do too much. So you want to make sure that your morning routine is practical. You want to be for real about what you can fit into your morning before work starts. So for some people, that's only 10 minutes. For other people, that's an hour. So knowing what works best for you, again, in different seasons, is how you can tailor your morning routine for you for that season to make sure that you are not setting yourself up to fail, but actually setting yourself up for success to have a great day. When it comes to your day, whether you're a student, you're working, you're a stay-at-home parent, whatever it may be, there is still a routine that you can use, and it's not necessarily as structured, I would say, as your morning routine, but it's more about allowing you to understand your day and use it to the best of your ability. And that comes down to time blocking. I am a huge fan of time blocking. I literally put things in my calendar based on hour by hour, sometimes even 15 minutes to time block out when I should be doing something, when I should stop doing something. And this also goes back to my previous video using the Pomodoro technique, which is a type of time blocking. And using time blocking allows you to actually look at your day and see what is realistic. How much can I fit in the day? What appointments or time slots do I have, things that I can't move around, whether that's school pickup, a certain Zoom call, different meetings, whatever it may be. You use that sort of as the structure and the routine of your day, and then you time block around that. This allows you to stay focused and to also manage your time realistically. So very similar to your morning routine, let's be realistic. Let's be real about what you can accomplish in a day, how long things often take. And I know for me, I time block things thinking that's only going to take a half hour. That's only 20 minutes. Oftentimes I realize that is not the truth. I actually need 45 minutes or maybe an hour. And since I start time blocking, I'm able to understand how long things take so that I can be more realistic in my time blocking as I continue down that path. So, looking at your time, looking at your responsibilities, your tasks, try to give yourself a little bit of extra time because you most likely will need it, and start to time block out your day so that you can also focus on different aspects of your work. So for someone like myself who is an entrepreneur in a clothing business, I obviously do YouTube. I have a few other side things. I'm very strict about my time blocking in terms of what type of time blocking I'm doing. Am I being more creative? Am I creating content for YouTube or my business? Am I brainstorming and looking at mood boards? Or am I being a bit more analytical and going over cost sheets and forecasts and analysis? So I like to time block things based on the type of mindset that I need. So if I'm more creative, I try to time block all my creative work around each other. And if I'm being a bit more analytical and more business oriented, then I like to do those things in the same time block or the same afternoon, same day, whatever it may be. And I try to make sure that it's something that I can return to and I get into that flow a little bit easier because they're all back to back rather than jumping from creative to analytical to then doing something around my house. It feels very overwhelming and it starts to feel like I have ADHD and it's taking over. So being realistic with your time blocking and being strategic with it also sets you up for success throughout your workday, throughout your busy day, whether you're, like I said, caring for kids, a student, or a business owner. It's so important to set yourself up for success within your working hours. And the most important thing about time blocking is it's flexible. Again, this idea of routine feels like it's all rigid and there's actually no enjoyment. But the reality is time blocking, having a routine is flexible because you're the one who's creating it. So looking at your calendar, looking at what you have to do allows you to time block realistically for each day. And every day actually will look different. And that's a part of the flexibility is knowing that day-to-day things are going to be different and making sure that you adjust for each day and accommodate the things that you need so that your time blocking sets you up for success. So at the end of the day, whether it's 5 or 6 p.m., you realize, oh, I accomplished a lot and I had a really good day. So similar to your day routine, I find evening routines also are overlooked. Yes, I think a bedtime routine is something we talk about and is very important, but your whole post-work evening from, let's say, 5 or 6 p.m. onward is just as important and just as valuable as your morning routine. Because a lot of times this is when I would say, I lose it all. I start to feel overwhelmed. I end up working a little bit too much, a little bit too late, and I feel like the whole day just wasn't a good day. Mostly because I don't have any routine. I don't have any discipline. I don't have any structure. So I started to look at things as I didn't have any time for myself. I worked too hard. I didn't drink enough water, and all these different things start to pile up and I feel discouraged. But when I have a routine for my evening post work leading into my bedtime routine, I can actually look at the day as an accomplishment, even if I didn't get everything done that I wanted. But I start to realize, okay, there's still time for myself to eat healthy, take care of my mental or physical health, connect with my partner, see friends, whatever it may be. But the most important thing is knowing it is not always consistent. Again, routines are designed to be flexible based on what you need for the season, the day of the week, whatever it may be. For me, and I think for you, a great evening routine should be about winding down, adding some calmness, some rest, a little bit of relaxation, even if it can only be 10, 15, or 20 minutes, depending on how busy your schedule is. But being able to end your day the way that you started your day with a little bit of time for yourself, the ability to connect with yourself, make sure that you are filling your cup up enough or decompressing after a busy day so that you go into sleep, go into that bedtime routine, feeling better so that the next day is also a good day. Some things for me that are non-negotiables, similar to my morning routine, are things that help my mental, physical, and emotional well-being. So I like to reflect on my day, whether that's just in conversation with my partner or even journaling about things that maybe happened, whether that's new opportunities or someone I met or had a meeting with, or even just sometimes the bad things, feeling overwhelmed and feeling like I didn't get enough done, and just allowing myself to not only recognize my feelings, but allow myself to feel them. Because otherwise, I end up pushing them down, suppressing them, not dealing with them, and they come out later. So reflecting on my day allows me to move through my evening and get into that sort of calm and, digestive state where we can start to relax and our nervous system relaxes. So being able to create these structures and these different practices for your evening routine, again, allows you to have a bit more control, to get in touch with yourself and not feel like you're being pulled in so many different directions. Leading into your bedtime routine, this goes into your sleep hygiene. And I know for women, our bedtime routine is a little bit different. We have more skincare. Maybe we wash your hair, brush your hair, all these different things. So part of that is disconnecting, turning off your devices, putting them away is very important, but also not watching TV in bed, which I do from time to time. I will admit it, I'm not perfect with my routines, but I do my best to not watch TV in bed, especially before I'm falling asleep. Being on a screen, having more blue light in your eyes is the last thing you need. You're not going to get yourself into a good sleep pattern. You're not going to wake up feeling refreshed, and then this cycle continues day after day. So for me, I try to read or do a little puzzle, like a word puzzle, a Sudoku. I know that sounds a little bit strange to do something that's very thought-provoking before bed, but oftentimes I just get too tired because I can't think like that, and it actually helps me fall asleep. So setting something up in your nighttime routine, whether it starts with your skincare, obviously brushing your teeth, whatever that may be, your unwinding routine, setting a candle, using scents to set the tone of your evening as you get into bed and practice that sleep hygiene will definitely help you when it comes to waking up the next morning. And especially if you're someone who's trying to get up earlier or even just wake up feeling more refreshed, you want to look at your nighttime routine as working back the clock from how many hours of sleep are you getting? Can you set it back by an extra 15 minutes? So getting into bed 15 minutes earlier so you get 15 minutes more of sleep. And don't get into bed at that 8-hour mark. I would suggest getting into bed at least 8.5 hours to 9 hours before your alarm goes off so that you can have that time to decompress and try to fall asleep, because if you're like me, you can't always fall asleep in the first 60 seconds you're in bed. So it gives you a little bit of that grace period to unwind, get into that relaxation state, and fall asleep. A routine, whether it's your morning, your daytime, your evening routine, it's important that they're flexible. No season of our life, no day to day is going to be the same. Yes, we may find that one season, whether again, it's literally the season of fall or just a season of being busy with school or being busy with work, has similarities. You still need to be flexible. We are not trying to set up ourselves for failure or to feel like it's one less thing that we've accomplished and basically stop doing it, which is why a lot of routines don't work, is we strive too much, we set unrealistic expectations, and we aren't able to maintain them, and then we stop keeping these routines. So you need to give yourself flexibility and allow yourself to realize there's going to be movement and flow within these routines. What's important is trying to stay consistent, is to show up more often than not. And like I said, especially with those mornings where you want to sleep in a little bit more, or you're feeling like, I don't want to go outside, I don't want to go to the gym, but it is also important to listen to your body. So for me, dealing with chronic pain, one thing that I struggle with is being able to show up, whether it's for the gym, even for a walk when I'm going through a pain flare up. And I have to listen to my body. When can I push myself a little bit and when can I not? And I actually do need to sleep in a little bit more. So being able to listen to your body, tune into yourself, and learn from either past mistakes or past successes allows you to use a routine that sets you up for success, again, at any point of your day. So let's say you're going into a busy season. You know work is going to be longer hours. You're going to either have to stay at the office later or work more into the evening, and you're already feeling overwhelmed. You need to reassess your morning and your evening routines that reflect that you're going to be more stressed. So taking things out of those routines. Maybe it's not going to the gym, but it's only doing a 15-minute walk instead. Or in the evening, it's not cooking a healthy dinner, it's ordering takeout or picking something up on your way home. By allowing yourself to look at your routines and looking at that stability you've created and adjust it based on the season you're going into, but also allow yourself to adjust to more stress or not having the same amount of time, and not allow yourself to feel like, again, you failed something, but still allow yourself to have that routine and that structure to encourage your body to find that rest in the evening or find that peace in the morning and get things done and feel accomplished throughout the day. And as you know, and if you don't know now, you're going to hear it over and over. I love a routine. I love accountability. So whether it's your partner or a friend or someone that you can share this with, sometimes there's different group chats or communities that you're involved with online that you can talk about your different struggles, whether it's personal growth, whatever it may be, but sharing what your routine is and maybe having someone hold you accountable, a friend checking in saying, did you do your morning walk? How did it go? Whatever the accountability is, you want to be able to show up for yourself, hold yourself accountable, have someone encourage you to be accountable, but also reward yourself when you do the hard work. At the end of the day, your routine should feel like it is there to support you. It is a support system to help you arrive at these goals and achieve the life that you want. But it's not about perfection. It is always about progress and making sure that you show up more often than you don't and reward yourself for doing so. Similar to a busy season, you also want to adapt routines based on different goals you may have in life, whether it is financial goals, professional goals, or even personal goals for making more time for yourself. When you look at your goals, you want to break those down into either daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly habits, things that actually will set you up for success, and then tailor your routines around that. So let's say you're working on a fitness goal, you are training for a half marathon. I love to work back from whatever my goal is whenever I want to achieve or accomplish that goal. So let's say I'm going to be running a half marathon in November. I go back in time to see when I need to start training for it. And then I look at each week and say, I need to be running twice a week. How am I going to be fitting these runs in? Which day am I doing my short run? Which day am I doing my long run? And also, when am I rewarding myself for doing these things? Being able to look at my routines throughout time, whether that's week by week, month over month, and know what my goal is, I can actually accommodate my routines to support my goals. So by being able to be aware of what my routines are, I want to be able to use those routines to get to the place that I want to arrive at. Maybe your goal isn't as big as running a half marathon or a full marathon, but maybe it's something a little bit smaller, like learning a new language. You want to be able to use your routine to support you in learning that language and also being accountable for doing it. So setting up a dedicated time each week, maybe even every day, whether it's 5 minutes a day or 30 minutes a week, that you time block into your schedule, and it can also be your evening schedule, that you spend that time learning your new language and you stay consistent with it and you show up. But again, there may be a little bit of flexibility. So if you have family in town or you're traveling, you might have to accommodate your schedule and your routine to make sure that you're still doing it, but on a different day based on your travel routine or the time that family is in town visiting. So similar to adjusting your routines based on goals you may have or different things you want to accomplish, you can also adjust them based on who you are as a person. So let's say you're not really a morning person. That's totally fine. Your morning routine doesn't have to start at 6 a.m. or even 7 a.m. You can adjust that based on how you operate as a person, when you feel you have your most energy to pour into yourself, to have a little bit of discipline to make sure that you're showing up for yourself in different ways. But you want to make sure that you're staying true to you. So creating a routine that is adjustable, that is flexible, and actually reflects you and what your goals are is the number one priority of a routine. If it's not made for you, then why are you doing it? At the end of the day, your routine should be adaptable. It's going to change season over season, year over year, based on your lifestyle, your goals, different things you want to achieve. And having that flexibility will allow you to use the discipline of a routine to arrive at these goals and arrive at the person you want to be and allow yourself to grow and change over time. Building a routine is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about trial and error, like many things in life. It is about creating something that works for you and adjusting it as you need, whether that's day by day, season over season. Remember, at the end of the day, it is progress over perfection. Having these goals and working towards something, creating a routine that reflects who you are, reflects who you want to become, and that best version of yourself. but also being kind to yourself along the way is what we're striving for. I would love to hear about your routines because I definitely go through phases where I am a morning girly. I get up, I have the best morning routine, and then I go through other phases where suddenly I love my evenings and I do more for myself in the evening. I have a bigger evening routine that has a little bit more physical activity, sometimes some socializing, but I always make sure that I have that bedtime routine to unwind and calm down. So if you have a routine or an aspect of a routine that you love, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you're struggling with a part of your routine and you just can't figure something out, let me know. I would love for us to be able to grow and learn together. If you haven't subscribed, this would be the time because there's going to be a lot more videos about discipline coming out. It is something that I'm constantly working on and something that I think is one of the best areas of our life to invest into because it applies to everything, not only for our personal life, our professional life, and our relationships. It allows us to become the person that we want to be. So subscribe, stay tuned for new videos, and if you haven't watched the previous videos in this series, now would be a great time to catch up and let me know what you think below. Also, like the video if you enjoyed it and give me any feedback so I can make sure that I am doing my best. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one.